you and Boomer, y'all was doing music at 13 in your basement. I mean, on YouTube, you know, when I look back on YouTube, the first time I remember seeing you on YouTube, you shot with Elzie Cannon.
Yep, yeah, that was later on. That was by the time I was like.
So that was a little later on.
Yeah, that was like by 16. That was like after that.
Okay, so that's a 3-year. So let's try to fill in these 3-year gap. Then. So what before we seen that first video, you know, on YouTube, you shooting. What was going on in them 3 years? You know, the transition, I guess.
I was still kind of being like a kid. I was dropping like little freestyles and shit, but I was like still a kid, just hanging out. I wasn't really taking it serious like that yet. I was just like playing around. It was just like a hobby.
Okay.
I didn't really know what I was gonna do. I still had a love for like hooping and shit and just hanging out and going to the movies, trying to find some girls type shit. I was young nigga.
Yeah. Okay.
Young nigga shit.
So let's bring it back to the first video 3 years later at 16. Did you already know Elzie, like,
yeah,
back when you was already, am I saying it right, Elzie?
Yeah.
Did you already know him then when you and Tugg, not Tugg, when you and Boomer was in the basement?
Yeah, I always knew Elzie. I knew Elzie since I was like 11, but we wasn't really we wasn't hanging out all the way yet. I just knew him because he went to different school than me. Bro went to Gardner and shit. I went to Dwight Rich.
Okay.
And then I transferred to Waverly. I got to Everett. I transferred to Everett after like halfway through my 9th grade year. I came back to the Lincoln School District, and bro was at school with me. We had a class together, and then that's how we just started hanging out all the time. And bro had picked up the camera and shit, and he was just like, "Man, you got some code. You be rapping and shit. Nigga, shoot a video." So we ended up shooting the video in the living room at the crib. And shot a little video. Yep.
Man, okay.
And then that shit started. He just kind of helped me build some momentum, and I got serious from there. Okay. I was like 16.
About 16, and I remember at that time, but you was like, I mean, to me from the outside looking in, you was going hard. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was trying to do the rap shit too. Obviously, you know what I'm saying? We know how this shit went. I stopped rapping. Obviously, I picked up a camera. You kept going. You know what I'm saying? You elevated.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, bro, you was dropping. You know what I'm saying? And I admired that from a distance. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, because I couldn't do that shit, and wasn't nobody supporting my shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I admired that from a distance. You know, and you was a young nigga doing your shit. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah, shit. And that was crazy. I wasn't even all the way serious yet. Like, I just knew I could rap, but I still wasn't like, I'm like, man, I don't know how serious this shit. And I guess that period was kind of motivating a lot of niggas to start rapping. Because a lot of niggas start rapping through that shit. Like, for real. I ain't gonna cap. A lot of niggas done told me, like, man, that shit got me rapping. And that shit, that's how me and Von J ended up linking. Von J ended up coming to Everett, like, my sophomore year. I'm a grade ahead of bro. So my sophomore year, bro come to Everett. And this by time I'm going to record a lot. I'm like, every day damn near I go to the studio right after school.
So was you guys like a group around that time? Cause like I said, I'm from the outside looking in. So I looked at it. It was a gang of y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, shoot, like we just said before the interview. You know what I'm saying? It was Slick. We got Diamond. You know what I'm saying? We got Homeboy. We got that whole group. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, OBM YNL movement, man. Shout out to the guys, man. That shit was legendary.
We got Armani. There you go.
Yeah.
Armani. Man, it was a gang. Even in y'all video, when you go back and look, you know what I'm saying? Everybody, you know what I'm saying, is in the video support.
That shit happened like probably like the following year, like damn near when I was like a senior in high school. Cause during like when I was younger, we was just recording. Like, everybody knew each other, but we didn't like really form together till we got a little older. We was just niggas was cool doing songs with each other. We all knew each other. A lot of us all went to Everett. That's how it seemed like a group. Everybody that was rapping at the time damn near went to Everett. Me and Armani both knew each other from Waverly. And my nigga Ball Wright, we was at Waverly together. Then I got to Everett. Diamond was at Everett. My nigga Branson, he was the engineer.
Shout out Be Fresh. Shout out Be Fresh, yeah.
That's a goat in the game. My nigga Homeboy was at Everett. Elzie went to Everett with us. Von J, shit, we was up there deep as hell in high school together.
Okay. So you said later, after high school, that's when everybody started, like, you know, coming together and doing the music?
Probably like the end of me being in high school. Drayvon and them was a little older than me. Drayvon, Elzie, Armani and all them, Diamond, they was already graduated. I was still in high school. I was finishing up school and shit. And then we started that shit like the end of my senior year.
Okay, so end of your senior year, everybody started doing it. The music started really, I guess popping. You know what I'm saying? Like really started getting a buzz around here. I guess
that was like the SoundCloud era.
Yeah, but as far as the cause I'm from the north side of town, so you know what I'm saying. We got our own people over there, and from the south end, y'all started making noise. You know what I'm saying? You started doing shit. Now y'all doing shows and this, that, and the third. So can you talk about that? Like, you know what I'm saying? The shows and you know.
Yeah, first off, shout out to the north too, cause I really was watching the north side growing up. Y'all had a lot of rappers from that way. I was watching a lot of them niggas. I used to listen to all of them. But shit, we started doing the shows and shit like my senior year. I did my first show. I don't know if y'all ever heard of my cousin Elzie. He helped me get my first show. That nigga, he was rapping a little bit before me. He was cold.
Man, he had bars.
Yeah, Cuz was on that. He got me my first show, and then from there, shit just started cracking. We started getting booked at like Max Bar, and they still had Fahrenheit and shit open and shit.
Man. Yeah, okay.
And then I just started getting booked all over Michigan. I was all around and shit. And I ended up going to New York, all type of places and shit with this shit. I performed a lot of places.